So Rainbow Six Siege has been out for a good 2 years now and has most definitely improved over the game that released back in 2015. But one question has persisted. Could a single player campaign using Siege's mechanics as a basis work? This mainly stems from the history behind the game in question. Before we got Siege, there was Rainbow Six Patriots, a game that kept much closer to what you would call classic Rainbow Six. Now I'm not going to pretend I have any prior experience with Rainbow games before Siege, though I actually own a copy of Rainbow Six Rogue Spear, but haven't played it because, well, I found it in the charity shop and it's probably full of malware or something. But back on track, could a single player Siege campaign be done? Well, I don't think it would be that hard. Of course, there's definitely a few differences between Siege and prior Rainbow games, like them using a third person perspective instead of first person, the de-emphasis on destructible environments, and of course the lack of operators, each with a set of distinct abilities. None of which are really akin to, let's say, transitioning gameplay mechanics from 2 dimensions to 3, as all the aforementioned properties would be fixed by taking Siege's level design philosophy into account, which unless you're Sonic Team, should be fine. So for this video I'll be mainly concentrating on the story aspect of this campaign and talking about the gameplay later. I've already got enough on my plate already, so let's say May? April's taken. So what would the story be? Well, Rainbow Six is a long chronology of betrayal, bioweapons and seemingly random acts of terror turning out to be funded and planned by large organizations in attempts of world domination. Classic stuff. I'm obviously not going to explain the whole Rainbow Six timeline today, that would take too long and that's what Snake's for, but the only event of note to happen between previous games and Siege was the deactivation of the team sometime after Vegas 2. Not sure why, but let's have some fun. What if the events roughly outlined in the cancelled Rainbow Six Patriots happened off-screen within universe, with some alterations, and led to the team's downfall? Let's say the titular True Patriots succeeded in their mission against Wall Street. Maybe the beliefs of James Wolfe, Rainbow's leader at the time, scared the world governments into shutting down the program in case he made a mad grab for power. What if James Wolfe became disillusioned with his government and joined forces with the remaining True Patriots, and began his grand scheme of a so-called perfect world? I think you know where I'm going with this. I'm quite partial to a continuation of the White Mask storyline which Siege loosely centers around. For those unaware, the White Masks are a terrorist group whose motivations are unclear. They attack in no correlation to race, age, religion, sexual preference or nationality and have no known central leadership, making them extremely volatile and dangerous. I want to go deeper with the White Masks and tie them in closer to both the context behind Siege's multiple DLC operations and Rainbow Six as a whole. For the former, let's retcon the White Masks to be behind all the seemingly random acts of terror described within the flavor text which accompanies each new season of Siege. Minus Outbreak, of course. For the latter, it's a little more difficult, but I think it could be interesting if you made James Wolfe the puppet master behind the White Masks. Granted, he's from a cancelled Rainbow game, so the twist might not hit home when it comes to impact, and sure, Vegas 2 already did the team member betrayal stick with the character Nowak, but that was more of a last-second twist, and I would hope Ubisoft would build up Wolfe as the White Mask leader, really working hard to make the player second-guess themselves on who's behind it all, while focusing more attention on his ideals rather than playing up the ex-Rainbow member aspect before and after his reveal. How about tying Six into the story a little bit more by giving her history with Wolfe? She's basically the Nick Fury of this universe, being the strong backbone of the team, and it was hinted that she's been in a position for some time before the White Mask started making moves. But Wolfe isn't the only one who deserves attention. Siege has such a great cast of characters who just haven't got the spotlight they deserve due to the game's nature. Outbreak definitely gave us some great character interactions from the likes of Ash, Tachanka, and the Lord, but was still limited when it came to the rest of the cast, which is such a shame since Ubisoft has been putting a lot more effort into these character bios as of late. Because of this, I'd really love for this single player to really flesh out each operator's personality beyond what we've got in the past, to at least get everyone on the level of the Boss X Sisters and the White Noise operators, to rise above stereotypes and be people players can root for. When Siege first came out, I said the base cast were some of the most intriguing people in current FPS, and I still stand by that statement. I hate it when people refer to them as bland and monotone, when just under the surface they're not so cookie cutter. Not everyone in Rainbow gets along for reasons big and small. All these people coming from different backgrounds will do that, but when it comes to the mission, they put all of that aside to protect the world, and that is so much more interesting than any COD character in the last decade. So believe me when I say I'll be going into much more detail when it comes to part 2. So to end it off, let's talk about the centerpiece of this campaign and all the events leading towards it. It's been 2 years since the events at Bartlett University, and the world has become a scary place. Tech experts at Rainbow and around the world have been working non-stop to track anything to do with the White Masks, as after Bartlett, they have not been seen since. No attacks, no meetings, no confirmed actions against anyone. A strange, troubling dilemma in a world where no one is truly anonymous. Rainbow has also been dispatched to deal with multiple varying threats in Canada, the Middle East, Brazil, Japan, Spain, Hong Kong, and South Korea respectively, and a recent parasite outbreak on US soil. Due to the events in New Mexico, a UN summit has been scheduled to debate the future of the Russian capsule and the necessity of the Rainbow program. During the summit, shots are reported from within the building alongside the release of an unknown nerve agent killing all security and first responders outside. Rainbow was soon able to confirm the gas is connected to the one used at Bartlett 2 years ago, just to be met by a broadcast from within the UN by a man who claims to be the leader of the White Masks, revealing sleeper agents have taken multiple world leaders hostage. In return for the safety of the hostages, the White Masks demand the Russian capsule that caused the parasite outbreak in New Mexico, giving the acting governments 24 hours to respond before they start killing on live television. With no other options and time ticking down, Six calls every Rainbow member into active duty and assigns the player's character, codenamed Spear, as the operation's ground leader. All operational red tape has been lifted and the order to shoot any White Mask sympathizers on site has been given. You're on the clock. Let's begin.